The first game I worked for EA Sports on was a soccer manager title. And when we released that title, I went to a store. Imagine, games were sold in stores. I'm the oldest man alive. Our title was lined up underneath the top dog, the main competitor. And I watched the father and the son going up and down the shelf. And then finally the father made a decision to buy our title. I was blown away. That was amazing.
An exciting moment when, at least for me, I was at E3 a few years ago, and Keanu Reeves was on stage, and everybody was freaking out and really excited. And I was watching the trailer, and I saw Cyberpunk, and I thought, they have cars. And so I went out and texted the third-party account manager, and I said, can we get that car? Can we put it in Forza? And she said, yeah, why not? Let's get this car.
One of my close friends today, we met playing so many different arcade games online on 360. And I had known them for like 2-3 years before actually meeting them in person. And that first time, like getting to see her, it was like seeing a long lost sister. It was just such a great moment.
My most memorable moment was being able to get the Grounded tattoo to celebrate the 5 million player mark. It was the first game that I really felt a part of the team and a part of the journey from very early days all the way to kind of really big success. And it just meant a lot to me to be a part of that journey and participate with the team. But beyond that, being a Black man and seeing a young Black boy represented in games and really put forth in a lot of the marketing efforts meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to my family. After the first trailer that we launched that kind of showed it, my mom shared it with someone in our neighborhood, and this little boy made this connection and said, oh, that game looks super fun because that little boy looks like me. And hearing that really made that even more meaningful and really made me even more proud to be a part of Grounded's journey, and so proud to even get to display it like prominently on my body forever.
The very end of Ori is just this beautiful moment where you see the family experiences a loss, but there's just a lot of beauty and love that comes from that loss that just endures the test of time. And all of Ori is beautiful. Like the graphics, the colors. I used to make my husband play it just so I could just like look at the screen because it's so beautiful. But that ending was so touching for me.
The original BioShock, towards the end of the game, your adversary, your nemesis, basically tells you, the player, that he's been manipulating you this entire time by using this term, would you kindly, in order to get you to do this thing. And so for you, the player, to have this moment that the game is telling you that on a meta level, it has been manipulating you this entire time, just to me it was mind-blowing.
I mean, this is a corny one because everybody says it, but I was surprised to get teary playing Last of Us. That was an awesome moment.
There was a point when I was playing, let's say, Red Dead Redemption, where you're just traveling in the journey. It's like the intermission, so to speak, of the game. You're just traveling from one location to another, and they play this song. And I think the song is like called Compass or something like that, but it's talking about the long journey ahead. And it's talking about how, if you only had a compass back to your loved ones. And it's a powerful moment because I find myself connecting at a human level with these pixels on a screen, with the thing that I was playing.
One of my favorite gaming moments is one of the most recent games that I finished, Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 is about a group of four guys. They're best friends. One of them is a prince, and they're on this kind of road trip to save the world. The four characters and their brotherhood were kind of like, I was in that with them. But I realized that my time with these characters was coming to an end. And I was sad. That was memorable, but also bittersweet.
So I think my gaming moment here is really just how I started. I grew up actually on Sega Genesis, and so it was super fun. Like looking back, like it was super fun playing things like Sonic 2. Super big fan of that game, but I think those first moments when I began to play games were super exciting for me.
Okay, this is a silly game, but I love this game. It's called Viva Pinata. I had this amazing moment where I built this beautiful garden with chirping birds and different ambient life that I just kind of stopped. And I just kind of relished in what it was that I took a nap. Like, it was the most peaceful place for me. It was so peaceful to just be in that moment.
Battlefield 3 came out, and I was like, oh, sure, I'll try it. I was playing with my uncle. We were on a map, and we get to, like, the edge of a cliff or something, and I'm like, we're supposed to be expanding forward. I don't really know where we're going. Like, I'm confused. And then my uncle was like, oh, I think we got to parachute down to the bottom. And, like, my mind was blown. Because I was used to playing, like, Call of Duty, like, smaller maps and stuff, and like, you don't parachute in Call of Duty. And so I was just like, that's awesome. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. And he was right, and we did it. It was mind-blowing. At the time, I was like, that's awesome.
Gears of War 2 introduced this thing called Horde mode. It was 50 levels. We were level 49. And like the boss had come through, right? Just big, massive boss with a multiplier, just bullet sponge ridiculous, right? We had 5 of us in the crew. My brothers were actually playing with me. I think we ended up everybody dying, a sliver of health left on the boss, and like, I think it was just me. Duck, dodge, shotgun, boom, kill the boss. And we all erupt, like, and and we're not anywhere near one another. Like, we're totally like in cities apart, right? We're actually playing this game together, but we're all just like, my God, I can't believe we got there. We finished this, crushed the boss. This is the best game ever.
We were playing Sea of Thieves, and we get caught up with the Kraken, right? The thing comes out of the sea. He's throwing us around. We're trying to repair the ship, getting flung into the water. And I notice a boat out in the distance, and so we're like, oh, somebody's out there watching us get jacked up by this Kraken. Then all of a sudden, bam, like, I get shot. Those people had come over from their boat and decided to kill us while we're fighting this Kraken, right? And so I'm like, oh man, this is unsporting, you know? But it's a game full of pirates, so what are you gonna do? And so I get, I come back to on the boat, bam, killed again. And I'm like, enough of this, jump into the water with the Kraken, make my way to their boat, took every fire cannon that I could find in my pockets and on their boat, and I blew that joint up, like set the whole thing on fire. And of course, then they killed themselves, instantly spawned back on their boat and killed me. But whatever, it was a great moment, and to me, it wasn't about like us winning or even being better players than them, but just leave us be, man. We fighting this Kraken. Like, can we live? Can we do what we're doing and you go do something else?